I'm Barry, 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 I'm Barry. I'm Barry, I'm Barry, I'm Barry, I'm
Oh, alien probes. A UFO. Oh my gosh, is this man really telling the truth? Silence. Barry walks out. I told you I was Barry, man. I told you. Silence. You must kill this Barry to reclaim your throne. Unnamed person. So, the lookalike of Barry walks up to the other Barry, snaps his neck, then shouts, I like turtles, for no reason, and then reclaims his throne as the real Barry again. So, is this fake lookalike on the ground the fake Barry, or is the one that just snapped his neck the real Barry? You will find out on the next episode.
And on the next episode, there's a Barry laying on the ground, but there's another one standing, screaming, for no reason. In the corner, behind a box, the only box in a 10-mile radius. There's another person behind it, and he's staring at the berries. He looks up, peeks his head over the box, and says, I'm watching you. And as the Barry that is still alive celebrates his victory, the unnamed person walks up behind him and slaps him so hard on the neck, his brain flies out of his nostrils. So now there is two Barrys dead, and the unnamed person spits on both of them and screams, I am Barry.
But at that moment, the guy...
Did you just eat the air?
But that Barry, who just killed another Barry, thought he was safe. But the Barry that just had died had just enough time to vibrate and pass through the Speed Force and go back to the time before he was dead and hijack a plane and run it into the other guy's head who was hiding behind the box. And then the plane had exploded, but the Barry still alive had vibrated through the plane and was still alive. And with the last breath that he had, he was so exhausted with the last breath he had, he said, I am Barry. Continuing episode on Netflix. The Barry repeatedly out of nowhere kept screaming, got you, bitch! Got you, motherfucker! Now, what had happened? Watch now on Netflix the series I Am Barry.
And next on the story, I Am Barry on Netflix. The original Barry that was dead, all in the beginning, really wasn't. He went back in time, but there was a problem. He had short-term memory loss from what just happened, and he couldn't remember what just happened. All he knew is that there was a lot of dead people. So he went back in time right before he died and saw his body on the ground, but he didn't know it was his body. So he walked over to it and started teabagging his own body. Then, one of the other Barrys turns around and looks at him like he's autistic. Now, this Barry's confused because because he didn't know that he was teabagging his own body. They stare at each other awkwardly for 5 minutes long. Awkward silence. Crickets in the background. And out of nowhere, coming from the ground, another berry in a bulldozer rises from the dirt and hits both berries in the face with his bulldozer. And now the two berries look at each other and say together, "Oh, it's on, Mitch!" I'm Barry, continued on Netflix.
Okay, continue. A mad. Continuing on Netflix. So, both berries are dead. Only two remaining. A mad scientist comes out of the alleyway, looking all terrifying. He sneaks up behind both berries and poisons them. And he gets his resurrection potion out of his book bag and resurrects the last berry, which is me. And I am alive now, he says. He then rapes the other bodies and tells them, "It's game on, bitch. Let's roll." Continuing
on Netflix. As the berry is raping all the other berries, he goes to rape the final one. But on some Alien versus Predator type shit, another berry comes out of one of the dead berries' ass, and it starts yelling, screaming loud, "Ear rape, ear rape, ah!" It starts growing 20 feet tall in the air. It grabs an object out of the sky. It's a meteor. He throws it right at one of the berries, and it blows a hole in the earth that they're standing on. The other two berries look at each other, and then, continuing on Netflix.
So, continuing on Netflix. Out of the hole comes a bunch of blood-sucking parasites, zombies. They start bunching on all of the berries and begin taking their clothes off and raping them for some freaking reason. They're raping the berries with their long, hairy, diseased, decaying cocks. Now, the berries can't handle all of this, so they pass away silently as they're getting raped. The berry from out of the dead now is a zombie, and he rapes the bodies with the other zombies too. Continuing on Netflix.
Continuing on Netflix. One of the berries wasn't dead. In fact, he was being raped continuously, but he didn't do or say anything because he kinda liked it. But he knew everything was fucked up and something had to happen. There was too many zombies, big zombies with their massive heads, and they were raping everything in sight. So that berry ripped a hole in the Speed Force, went back in time, back to the start of this whole thing. But because that berry was horny, he let everything happen the same, just so he could get raped again. He says, "Oh shit, now we gotta do this all over again. How am I gonna get out of this mess? Fucking zombie cock." Then he lets it go one more time. One final stroke. He lets that zombie destroy him before he goes and changes the timeline. Continuing on Netflix.